Vince Gilligan spent 8 hours gaslighting us. He sold us on a sci-fi show about an alien invasion, but he actually made a horror movie about a bad breakup. If you click this video, it's probably because you're confused. You're frustrated by the silence. You're wondering why the apocalypse feels less like Independence Day and more like a mandatory corporate wellness retreat. And you're absolutely right to feel that way. Pluribus is the most polite end-of-the-world scenario in television history. And that is exactly why it is terrifying. We expected meth labs and explosions. Instead, we got an alien hive mind that kills you with kindness and restocks the grocery store shelves while doing it. But we need to talk about the ending. Specifically, we need to talk about the shipping container in Carol's driveway. Because I have a theory about what happens next, and it involves the single darkest realization about Carol's immunity that nobody is talking about. We're going to crack open that atom bomb cliffhanger. But first, we have to look at the breadcrumbs that led us to the slaughter. Let's zoom out. If you try to explain the plot of Pluribus to a friend at a bar, you sound insane. It sounds like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, directed by Terrence Malick. The season kicks off with We As Us, introducing us to Carol Sturka, a romance novelist who watches the world end not with a bang, but with a synchronized convulsion. The premise is terrifyingly simple. An aerosol drop infects humanity with a viral RNA sequence, connecting everybody into a single euphoric consciousness called the others. The brilliance of this season's architecture isn't the invasion itself, it's the aftermath. Usually in these shows, the aliens are blowing up landmarks. Here, they are fixing the power grid. They are nonviolent. They are terrifyingly efficient, and for the first half of the season, the show traps us in the perspective of the immune. We have Carol, who just wants her partner, Ellen, back. We have Kumbah, the hedonist, living it up in Vegas because the hive mind lets him do whatever he wants. And we have Menusos, or Manny, the resistant fighter who refuses to drink the Kool-Aid, or in this case, the weird bagged milk. The narrative arc of this season is essentially a study in isolation. Gilligan uses the silence of New Mexico to drive Carol insane. We watch her struggle not against monsters, but against the bureaucracy of peace. The others won't fight her, they just ignore her. They allocate resources away from her. It's bureaucratic horror at its finest. The turning point, the moment the show went from atmospheric drama to visceral horror, was the discovery in episode 5 and 6, Got Milk and HDP. This is where the writing really flexed its muscles. We spent episodes wondering how this utopia functions, only for Carol to trace a barcode to a packaging plant and discover shrink-wrapped human body parts. The reveal that the others supplement their diet with human-derived protein. Because they can't kill animals is such a dark, twisted logic puzzle. It recontextualizes everything. Every smile Zosia gives Carol, every polite gesture from the hive mind is now underpinned by the fact that they are essentially recycling the dead to fuel the living. It's cannibalism presented as eco-friendly sustainability. By the time we hit the penultimate episode, The Gap, the lines are drawn. Manny is near dying in the Darien Gap, proving the resistance requires literal blood sacrifice. While Carol is succumbing to loneliness, painting messages on the street begging the monsters to come back because isolation is worse than assimilation. That is the emotional core of the season. It asks the question, would you rather be free and alone in a world of corpses or loved and connected in a world of monsters? Carol chooses connection. She invites Zosia back in, and that mistake, that desperate need for intimacy. By the time we hit episode 8, Charm Offensive, the show pulls its cruelest trick. It gives Carol everything she wants. Zosia returns, they have a romantic reunion. The others rebuild a diner just for Carol. It is the classic love bombing. The hive mind weaponizes intimacy to keep Carol docile. And for a moment, it works. Carol slips into the comfort of the lie, but then the door opens and Manny shows up. And this brings us to the finale. If episode 8 was the sedation, episode 9 is the surgery without the anesthesia. This episode structured entirely around a binary choice, brilliantly referenced in the title. Carol has to choose between the girl, Zosia, in the comfort of the lie, or the world, Manny, and the hard, violent truth. The episode starts with Manny arriving at Carol's house, and the dynamic shifts instantly. Manny is the soldier, Carol is the collaborator. The scene where Manny searches for listening devices highlights the genre shift. We are now in a spy thriller, but the real horror comes when Manny decides to test the others. He summons Zosia, then triggers a global seizure. It's a brutal display of power. It proves that the others aren't gods, they are biological machines that can be hacked. But also proves that Manny is willing to hurt these people to prove a point. Carol's reaction is fascinating. She doesn't join the resistance immediately. She runs. She takes Zosia and they go on a world tour for 2 weeks. This sequence is vital. It's the Lotus Eater trope. We see them enjoying the fruits of a unified world. But it's hollow. It feels like a honeymoon period in a relationship you know is doomed. The other shoe drops when the introduction of Kusamayo, the immune teenager in Peru, who willingly joins the hive mind. This is the counter argument the show needed. If the joined are happy, why fight it? Why is Carol so special? And then Gilligan delivers the gut punch. The reveal isn't about aliens or antennas, it's about biology. Zosia confesses that the others are working to extract Carol's stem cells from her frozen eggs. They are customizing the virus. In 1 month, Carol won't have to choose to join. She will be assimilated biologically. This is the moment the genre shifts again, from spy thriller to body horror. The romance with Zosia was never about love, it was about stalling for time while the lab work was finished. It's a violation of the highest order, the Acebaby license plate theory that fans have been tossing around. It was real. They are using Carol's potential children to end her existence. The betrayal is what drives Carol back to Albuquerque. It's what drives the final scene. She returns to Manny not with tears, but with a crate. She tells him she's ready to help. She claims it's an atom bomb. Now, do I think it's actually a nuclear weapon? Maybe. But knowing this show, it's probably something more complex. However, the symbol is clear. Carol has made a choice. She chose the world. She chose to burn down the paradise because she realized the price of admission was her own soul. It leaves us on a precipice. The screen cuts to black. We are left with the terrifying realization that war hasn't even started yet. The invasion is over. The insurgency, fueled by a woman who just realized her girlfriend was a lab technician in disguise, is just beginning. So how do I actually feel about all of this? If I had to put a number on it, I'm giving Pluribus Season 1 a rock-solid 4.5 out of 5. I know, I've seen the comments. I see people are frustrated with the pace. I see the tweets calling it boring or asking why nothing exploded for 6 episodes. But I have to ask, have you seen a Vince Gilligan show before? Do we not remember that Better Call Saul started as a show about an elder law dispute and ended up being, in my humble opinion, better than Breaking Bad? The show worked because it took its sweet time. It let the marinade soak in. That is exactly what is happening here. In Gilligan, I trust. That's the mantra. I am fascinated by where this is going, specifically because I have no idea where it's going. The show isn't afraid of silence. It isn't afraid of those Gilliganisms. The 10-minute scenes of a character just thinking or painting a line on a road or staring at a aurora borealis. It's artsy-fartsy, sure, but it's confident. I say let the man cook. My main takeaway this season was the prologue. It was a setup. It established the rules of the world so season 2 can break them. The dynamics have fundamentally shifted now. We aren't watching Carol mourn anymore. We are watching her strategize. The show effectively tricked us into watching a tragedy so it could surprise us with a war movie. And I'm just praying it's one of those productions we'll get a season 2 within a year. Because if I have to wait 2 years for another show to have a season 2, I'm going to lose my mind. Let's talk about the future, because the finale left us with this very specific, very terrifying roadmap. The engine for season 2 is the ticking clock. We know that the others aren't just waiting for Carol to change her mind. They are building a custom virus using her own stem cells. That gives us a hard timeline, 1 month. Season 2 is going to be a race. It's Carol and Manny versus the calendar. I think the primary conflict is going to be technological. Manny spent the finale ranting about standing waves and radio frequencies. He theorized he could beam an inverse signal back to Kepler 22b to cancel out the hive mind. That's the science plot, but the emotional plot, the one that's going to hurt, is the save the girl dilemma. Carol is back with Manny. Yes, she brought the bomb or whatever is in the crate, but she still loves Zosia. And the others know that. My prediction, the Acebaby license plate wasn't a throwaway gag. It's the others' ace in the hole. If Zosia is pregnant, with a child created from Carol's harvested eggs, or if she is carrying the biological key to the next phase of the invasion, Carol is going to be paralyzed. How do you blow up the enemy when the enemy is carrying your child? There is also the weaponization of the truth. Carol and Manny know the dirty secret of Utopia, HDP. The others eat the dead. That is the propaganda weapon they need. If they can broadcast a truth to remaining immune, or even find a way to wake up the dormant personalities inside the joined, to let them know what they've been eating, the psychological fallout could shatter the hive mind from the inside out. We are moving from a story about survival to a story about insurgency. Expect darker turns. Expect Carol to get her hands dirty, and expect the show to ask the question, is it worth saving the human race if you have to become a monster to do it? Is Pluribus worth the binge? Short answer, yes, but you need to put your phone away and pay attention. Season 1 is a slow burn masterpiece that tricks you into thinking it's a drama about revealing its body horror nightmare. It's from Vince Gilligan, the creator of Breaking Bad, and it feels like it. It's methodical, it's quiet. It's about a woman named Carol surviving a polite apocalypse where aliens kill you with kindness. But if you want a show that builds dread like a pressure cooker until the final 5 minutes blows the lid off, this is it. The finale drops a twist about biology and betrayal and recontextualizes the entire season. It's smart, it's scary, it features the best performance Rhea Seehorn has ever given. But that's where I'm at with Pluribus, but I want to know what you think. Is the atom bomb literal, or is it a metaphor for something else Carol found? Are you team Manny, the burn it all down, or team Zosia, peace at any cost? Let me know your theories in the comments down below. I read them all, especially the crazy ones. If you enjoyed this deep dive, consider subscribing to The Cult. We cover the weird, the dark, and the obscure, and we'd love to have you. Until next time, don't drink the milk.